guys, welcome to my coffee show. My name is Jack and today we are comparing pour over with Americano. Hear me out here before you stop watching. A few weeks ago, one of the viewers asked me, Jack, I'm always drinking Americano, I'm planning to start with the pour over. What's the difference? And I was like, well, what's the difference? You have Americano, you have a pour over. But then he asked, Jack, but what's the difference in a taste? And that got me thinking, would I be able to point which is which if I was doing a blind tasting? And we will do it today. At some point I will have two cups on the rotating plate. Underneath each cup there is a letter, P for pour over and A for Americano. Let's start with the coffee and then I will walk you through my recipes and how I'm going to approach the subject. Today we're going to use Manhattan coffee roasters from Rotterdam. This particular coffee is the fancy schmancy thermal shock anaerobic coffee. We should taste Turkish delights, raspberries, lychee with a vibrant mouthful. It should be nice. This is supposed to be a very good roastery. So I've been thinking long and hard which recipes to choose. We will choose recipes that we never use on this channel before, both for pour over and espresso. In both recipes I will use 18 grams of coffee. I will be using my Cafec Max 2 for both of those brew methods. For Americano, for espresso, I was thinking to use a blooming espresso, but then I thought let's use something simpler. This is expensive coffee, I don't want to waste the bag to dial it in, so we will use a D flow profile on descent. There is that introduction of water at the higher volume, then there is long pre-infusion, something that would resemble blooming in a pour over, and then the pressure would go up to about 9 bars. When I do Americano myself, normally I pull espresso shot first and then I top it up with water. I know it might not be a correct way to do it. I don't know, I like a little bit of crema on top of my coffee. The crema looks sexy. Today I will do it the other way around. The water temperature here will be 85 degrees. I will do a pour over first and then whatever amount of water I get in my final pour over, I will use the same amount of water minus the espresso for my Americano. And then I was thinking, should I pour all of that through the pour over filter just to make the body similar in both of those cups. As you see, I'm trying to make everything as comparable here as possible. For the pour over, I won't use my good old recipe with 5 pours. Today I want to make this video a little bit less boring for you. So we will use the recipe that I stole from World's Barista Champion in 2024, Martin Wolf. He uses narrow Orea for his recipe. I only have the wide Orea V4 with the same bottom. If you don't know about Orea V4, I have a video about that. We're also going to use those fast filters, those expensive fast filters. He uses geisha coffee for his recipe, well I will be using this anaerobic coffee. The interesting thing here is that he does WDT before he starts brewing. I will follow the recipe as much as I can and then we will see, am I able to find out which is which and what are the differences. So we got 2 cups. Now because the color of the pour over, clear, so I won't be looking when I'm drinking. It wasn't easy, by the way, to dial in this coffee for this particular profile. This is a very light roast coffee. I struggled to get to that 9 bars of pressure. I will taste each of those cups at random. I will wash my mouth in between. We will see what we can get here. Here immediately I have my favorite and that's this cup. The notes are crispier, cleaner, more vibrant. Not sure if I'm able to taste all of the flavor notes here, but definitely pleasant sourness. I would say actually strawberries, funkiness somewhere there in the background. A very pleasant, vibrant, fresh cup of coffee. This one, first second or so you don't feel that much and then it develops. The first one hits you immediately with all those fresh flavor notes. Here, sourness definitely reduced, not as vibrant as in the first cup. Texture is thicker, there is more body to the cup. At first I thought this is a bad cup because it develops slowly. And now I would say both good cups, but for this coffee, for this brewing method, this cup definitely better. I'm almost certain this will be a pour over cup. I don't want to waste the coffee, so let me enjoy it a little bit more. This cup is almost like if I was drinking juice. So much of the fruity aromas. I cannot identify all of them. I'm not sure if I would agree with the flavor notes on the bag, but definitely a fruit cocktail here. The other cup, there is also fruitiness, but less so and slightly deeper flavor notes. The cup that I went for, it must be pour over. It must be pour over. Yeah, it is. So guys, if you are still here, definitely click like. You may even consider subscribing to the channel. We like to play with coffee on this channel. We like to experiment. If you have any questions, just ask them in the comments. As you can see, every now and then I do answer them. So my final conclusions here. Something that's probably very obvious for most of you, but I had to find out by myself. There are differences between pour over and Americano. From Americano you may expect a little bit more body. Today I filtered that coffee through the paper. Normally you wouldn't do that, then the differences would be even more obvious. You can even look at the colors and you can see that Americano more kind of a murky, while the pour over was clearer, so that already gives you indication what you can expect in terms of the flavor notes. The interesting thing from today's video, when I tasted those two cups without knowing which is which, with pour over I immediately got that fruity aromas hitting me. Americano, at first there was not much, and then I got that development. They are not the same. Obviously the way you extract both of them is different. With the Americano, when you extract the espresso, you apply that pressure. It wasn't easy to maintain that pressure with this particular coffee. Why so? Because this was a very light roast coffee, probably designed more for the pour over than espresso. And here we are reaching to that point. Although you can use any roast level for any brew method, there are certain roast levels that fits better to pour over or espresso. I don't like darker roast coffees for my pour overs. I know some of you might enjoy it, and maybe one day I will change my mind. For espresso I can accept darker roast. For pour overs I like my coffees vibrant, fresh, fruity, juicy. It's also easier to extract light roast coffee when you do a pour over. Light roast, anaerobic coffee, it might misbehave when you want to pull espresso shot. If you have tricky light roast coffee, if you have expensive coffee, if you have coffee that does not taste great for espresso, for Americano, try it for the pour over and see the results. What I like about the pour over, it's a very cheap way to approach the coffee with extremely good results. So if you haven't tried it yet, I strongly encourage you to do. Now, this is the way I conducted this test. If you have any observations, something I might change in the future, let me know in the comments. But my final question for you, very simple. Americano or pour over? Which one you prefer and why? Plenty more things coming, but for today, thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack, this is my coffee show, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you, bye!